Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here, and I just wanted to share some news with you because I just saw a brand new release over here by Gajina, which is called BD on JB. And what this is really us getting prepared for a 12.00 jailbreak, which is just about to land on a PlayStation 5. Now, what it states over here is that this is BDJB for already jailbroken PlayStation 5. Now, if we scroll down into it, he gives us a bunch more details about it. So again, it does state you need an already jailbroken PlayStation 5, and that BD on JB is a remote jar loader that can be used on an already jailbroken PlayStation 5 up to 12.00 firmware. It supports on-screen logging and network logging, and what you need to do to get this to work is to send the included file here, which is bdj_unpatch.elf to an elf loader to unpatch bdj. And then it says bdj_unpatch will back up the existing BDJ stack to a BDJ stack.bak file just in case, and then you need to burn an ISO image here. So you will need a Blu-ray burner, and it does state here, do not reinstall the firmware. It will wipe the patch and you will lose BDJB access. Now, the remote logger, again, just used for logging, is over here on port 18194, and there is an included Python script here that you can use in order to get the log. Now, he does state here that he recommends first running the log_client.py, then starting the BDJ app. And then if you are using the remote jar loader server, that one is listening on port 9025, and you can use jar_client.py to send the jar file. Or you can use any other TCP payload sender too, so things like Netcat GUI would work with that. Now, there is some instructions in here in case you do want to compile, as well as some credits. But if we go over here to the releases, you're going to need to download just a few files. And so taking a look at the file list here, you're going to want to go ahead and grab the ISO image here, as well as the ELF file. And then you can go ahead and grab the hello world.jar. And then after you get that, you might want to come over here and either just go over here to code and then download zip, because there are a few Python files here that you might want to play with as we get into this. But again, that's just optional. Next up, you'll need to connect a Blu-ray writer to your computer. And we need to point to the file, which is the BD on JB 1.0.iso, and then put in a disk and burn the image. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll meet you over on the PlayStation 5. Okay, so back over on the PlayStation 5, I'm on my 10.01 machine, and I am already jailbroken here, which again is a requirement. Now again, if you're on greater than 10.01 all the way up to 12, you will need the Star Wars Racer Revenge at least one time in order to get up and started with this. Now, I have went ahead and loaded up ETA Hen, and so with ETA Hen already being connected, I do have port 9021, which I can connect to in order to send over that ELF file that was mentioned in the GitHub README. Now, the next thing that you're going to need is going to be your IP address of your system. You can obviously come in here to network and then go down to view connection status in order to get the IP address. So I've went ahead and I pulled up Netcat GUI, and as you can see here, I've got my PS5's IP address, and I am looking to send this over on port 9021, and the file that I'm going to send over is going to be the bdj_unpatch.elf. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and press inject payload, and right there you can see debug patched bdj stack.jar, and that is literally all there is to it. Okay, and so from here, I've went ahead and I've inserted that disk, which is showing up right here as BD on JB 1.0. Now, before I can go ahead and test this, I need to go ahead and reboot my system here. Now, if you did not run that L file and you're wondering what happens on a system that doesn't have BDJ patched, well, I went ahead and ran that on my 12.70 here just so we could get a look at what that looks like. So back over on my 12.70 here, I went ahead and I ran the disk, and that is the screen that it comes back with. It says screen initialized, triggering sandbox escape exploit, exploit failed, sandbox is still active. And yeah, it does say that the sandbox is still activated, but it will not work. So you definitely have to patch BDJ first. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over to my 10.01 PS5, and now that it's rebooted, we shouldn't be seeing this screen anymore since BDJ is now patched. Okay, so I just rebooted here. As you can see, I don't have any title ID showing up here, and so now I should be able to jailbreak just by using this. So let's go ahead and hit play on this, and let's see what happens here. Okay, so what we see here is that it does say that the screen was initialized and triggering sandbox escape, and then it was successful. Sandbox escape achieved. And now we have a jar loader listening on port 9025. Okay, so now I just changed my port to 9025, and over here I've just passed in that hello world.jar file that we downloaded from the repo. And let's go ahead and press inject payload here. And right there you can see it says receiving jar received, and there is the debug message. So now it says it is waiting for the next jar on port 9025. Now, one thing I did want to come back to is that you may recall that running the BDJ unpatch.elf, it will back up the existing BDJ stack. And if you're wondering where that is at, because I was just looking for it, you can go here to BDJ unpatch and then go into the main.c file, and right there is where you can go to or navigate to on your PlayStation 5 in order to get that backup of your BDJ stack. So anyways, just a little bit more information that I thought I'd share with you. Okay, and so now at this point, that is pretty much where this video ends. We need a little bit more progress to happen on this. And again, this isn't going to be very useful for those of you that's on like a 10.01 and under, mainly because we've got a couple of other methods like Y2JB that will get us in there quicker. But again, for those of you that's on a bit of those higher firmwares up to 12.0, this is going to be very extremely helpful in order to go ahead and get your system unpatched, where you'll be able to use BDJ in order to exploit it in the future. Anyways, I hope this helps somebody out there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out!